Meal. So NBA playoffs on Tuesday, we had two best of threes, and the twos really bested the threes.
Yeah, in the East, that would be Toronto and Philadelphia. And Toronto at home put it on the Sixers. Joel Embiid missed shoot-around because he was sick. He was listed as probable, but he did start the game. So how effective would Embiid be? Well, gets double-teamed down low and then throws the ball to no one in particular. Under a minute left in the first, Embiid gets the ball in the corner, but Fred VanVleet rips it away. They get it to Kawhi Leonard. Big finish. Embiid 4 turnovers and 2 for 6 shooting in the first half. Second quarter now, Ben Simmons turns it over. Pascal Siakam with the steal. And Brett Brown's like, what is going on out there? Simmons and Embiid combined for more turnovers than buckets and assists in the first half. Here's Simmons after the game.
Offense wasn't there. Defense wasn't there. We were terrible tonight.
All right, so the Raptors up by 16 in the second quarter. Siakam, he had 25. Misses there, but Danny Green, 5 for 7 from three-point range. He had 17 points. The 16 threes, Toronto hit a playoff record for the Raptors. They outscored them by 21 points on three-pointers alone in the first half. And then Leonard, Siakam said, plays like this give us energy, and the Raptors outscored the 76ers in the second by 20 points, their largest point differential for a quarter in their postseason history. So let's go third quarter now. Toronto by 20. Leonard. Embiid's there, but so what? Leonard with 21 points, 13 boards. He had scored at least 33 in every game, but he didn't need to do everything in this game. Raptors by 22 after 3 quarters. It got up to 40. Embiid checks out, and Drake is trolling him with his jet celebration. Worst playoff loss for the Sixers since 1982. Raptors win it Game 6 in Philly on Thursday.
Ice sucks. I know I got to do a better job for us to win.
Nobody's walking out of here, woe is me. I promise you that. We have a prideful team. We have a team that had a poor performance tonight. We let one slip in Philadelphia. We wish Joel were healthy. We felt like we could have won in Philadelphia. But nobody's walking out of here thinking anything else. But we're excited to go back to Philadelphia and find a way to win.
I think we laid an egg. No other way to put it. But the great thing about it, we get to go home and continue to battle. I mean, hell, if I was a coach, I wouldn't even show the film. Just move on. We got our ass kicked. Simple as that. No other way to put it. We know what we have to do. And so we got to go do it at home.
Shout out Jimmy Butler with the Howard Bison hat. Kawhi Leonard at 21 points, but he's still averaging 31 for the postseason. He's the first player in Raptors history to average 30 over the first 10 playoff games of a season. For Toronto, their 36-point win, their largest in franchise postseason history. They had never even won a playoff game by 30 before. For Philly, this was tied for their second worst playoff loss in franchise history. And again, their worst since 82. And Joel Embiid, 13 points with 0 in his 5 post-ups in the game, according to the Second Spectrum. It was the 4th time in his career he didn't score in a post-up, and it's now happened in back-to-back games.
Jimmy Butler spoke to the media in the locker room and had a message of support for Joel Embiid. Quote, we're going to ride or die with the big fella. As Embiid prepped for his post-game media session at the podium, realizing Butler already spoke, he said to the Sixers guard, quote, you're going to leave me to go up there alone? They're going to kill me. Sure enough, when Embiid arrived at the podium, there was Butler joining him at his side as he fielded questions about his rough day. Philadelphia hasn't given up on Embiid or its season just yet.
Nuggets with the best home record and regained home court advantage with that Game 4 win at Portland. Denver favored by 5.5. Lay it! Because the Nuggets laid it on the Trailblazers. Paul Millsap was large and in charge early. Three-pointer over Enes Kanter. He had 12 in the first quarter. It's not a West LA fadeaway, but it works over Kanter. The feed from Jokic. Faker lays it in. Millsap, 5 of 5 in the first half when being guarded by Kanter. He had 19 in the first half. Jamal Murray, nothing in the first quarter, 11 in the second. Millsap steals it from Chief. Murray, feeling you. Nuggets up by 15. And final seconds before half, Murray behind the back to Millsap. Boom, this was all Denver. All Denver. Final 3:34 of the second quarter. Nuggets 16-6 run. Murray 9 points during that, led by 18 at the half. Murray pick and roll with Jokic. Millsap drives, misses. I got your putback. Nuggets by 23. Torrey Craig. If he's hitting three, it's real problems. He's taking a three, he's missing it. Jokic with the putback right there. Jokic, so big, man. Jokic, 25 points, 19 rebounds, 6 assists. Fourth quarter, Murray behind the back, Jokic. Is there a Blazer highlight to be found? I don't think so. Jokic misses. Foul by Myers Leonard. Jokic doesn't like it. Gets right in Leonard's face, and your mouthwash ain't cutting it. Leonard got a flagrant. No call on Jokic. 124-98. Mark Schwartz. Things to do in Denver.
Well, they never trailed in Game 5, and for the first 18 minutes, it looked like the first 4 games. Suddenly, in the mid-second quarter, you get hot, and what happens to this basketball game?
I mean, the fans were into all night. We needed them. No, that's a huge game for us. It's a 3-game series now, so we came with a lot of energy, and everybody got it going.
When a team is as desperate coming in here as Portland, how do you take them apart and humiliate them by 30?
Just use the momentum. We're at home for a reason. That's what we fought for during the regular season. So just take our time, execute, and rebound. That was our main thing going into the game, and we did a great job of that.
Jamal, when Nikola Jokic squared off with Myers Leonard with 8 minutes left in the game and you guys up by 20, what went through your mind?
We're good. Just be smart. That's going to happen in this playoffs, obviously. So, we handled it well, and we just got to be ready for next game, though.
Did you like the fact that Coach didn't pull the starters until the very end? Did you think he needed to keep you in the game?
I don't judge what he does. I think he did a great job today. He got some great plays, executed us down the stretch, kept us focused when they made a run late in the fourth. So, leave us in or not, we have guys that can come in and play.
Jamal, thanks for the time.
No Portland highlights. Lillard 22, McCollum 12. They shot 14 of 37. You can see this Portland team really missing Nurkic because Portland had no answers inside for Jokic and Millsap. That duo combined for 49 points, 27 rebounds, and 8 assists.
Look who's here, Richard Jefferson.
Hey.
For some post-game analysis. Good to have you back. It's been a minute since.
It has been a minute. You guys don't care.
All right. Yes, we do. Yes,
okay.
We do. Well, what worked so well for Denver? I mean, just a few days ago, it took 4 overtimes to separate these two teams, and now Denver runs away with this one.
Well, look, you want to go back to the first round. I really think that Portland had such an emotional series, and you can see there's some fatigue in Dame, and then you come, their entire team, and then you come into this series, and Denver's a great team. They're fully loaded. They've had a great competitive series against San Antonio, and they came into this series ready to execute. And right now, when they got back to Denver, that elevation, all of a sudden, that conditioning. And look, I have been really impressed with the way this young Nuggets team has just come to play. But
you played with them last year.
Yeah, I played with them last year. But really, I'd like to give some credit to Paul Millsap. This guy's a 4-time All-Star. He's been on very good teams, a playoff-proven guy throughout his entire career. But how can you match up against him? When Portland lost Yusuf, and now you're guarding a 4-time All-Star that's just a consummate pro, when you're guarding him with guys like Enes Kanter, when you're guarding him with Evan Turner, he's going to be able to make Mo Harkless. He's going to be able to make plays out of these situations, and it just is very difficult for Portland to answer.
They live and die with the backcourt with McCollum and Lillard. They didn't shoot it well. Was it just an off night for them, or was it Denver's defense?
Well, I think it's a little bit of both. I think you want to give some credit to Torrey Craig. You want to give credit to Gary Harris and Jamal Murray for taking this challenge. You saw what Dame and what CJ did to that backcourt in Oklahoma City. So for them to come into this series knowing what these two guys are capable of, probably one of the top 2 or 3 backcourts in the entire NBA, for these guys to take that challenge. But I think it all starts with Jokic and then Murray, obviously. But I think Paul Millsap, that advantage that they have, if these guys play defense on that Denver side and play it well like they have, I think they're going to win this series.
All right, so Denver in the driver's seat in this series, but we'll keep the Blazers in it when we ask this question. Either one of these teams a match for either team in the other series?
No. No, you want me to expand? Okay,
Yeah,
no,
expand on that
No,
just a little bit.
I'm just joking. I think both of these teams are going to be very, very competitive. I think they have too much heart, too much grit. I think Denver, because they are at full strength, because they have that youth, because they sometimes that youth, you don't understand the magnitude of the situation. But I think Denver's playing great basketball. They have all year long. So I think that is probably the best matchup for the next series.
And what's your feel on Game 5?
Oh, this is tough. So look, I've been riding the Golden State train most of this year. I've been riding it since.
Not many seats on that train.
There's not. It is so tight. It is very, very tight. And so I was very, very surprised with Houston and how they came out and really battled. Because after Game 1, it looked like their mentality wasn't there.
Yeah.
And you're arguing about calls, which some of them were correct. But then all of a sudden you hear these reports about other things. And last season, it's like, look, this is this year. This is this game. This is what you need to focus on. So I was a little surprised with the way Houston answered in these the second, the 2 games at home. But I think now it's up for grabs. It's up for grabs. I'm still thinking Golden State's going to get it done.
Yeah.
But right now it's 50-50.
All right. Don't wait so long to come back and see us again.
Well, you guys, just invite me. I live down the street. Nothing going on.
You're always welcome. All right, here's how big the results were on Tuesday. I mean, we had a couple of blowouts. Teams that win Game 5 of a best-of-7 series tied 2-2 have gone on to win the series 82% of the time. 2 teams did lose in that scenario last season, the Celtics against the Cavaliers and the Rockets against the Warriors, so it's not over by any stretch. But the 2 teams that lost really, really didn't look good Tuesday night. All right, a whole lot more to talk about with Rockets and Warriors with Game 5 coming up. Pivotal game in this series, of course. Don't think we'll see a blowout like we saw in these games. We'll talk some more about it.